Howdy! There's been a lot of controversy about rock and roll. Some people say it's dead, some people say it's still going on. Well, I got evidence. Evidence that it's no longer with us. Here's the evidence.
Sorry I'm late. I had to do some dentistry work with a neighbor. So anyway, never mind about that. You're probably wondering why I'm here. You're probably wondering why I'm here. Well, I said last week that I'm not going to do this anymore. Well, I decided two things. I experimented on the last episode about heckling some conservative video. Well, I decided that I'm going to start a separate video show, and this will be strictly music. Okay? And if you don't like my music reviews, you're probably some right-wing asshole. Never mind. Person. Disagreeable. Today, I've usually watched this guy on YouTube. His name is Professor of Rock. He did a segment, and I thought it was very interesting. It was about greatest hits albums. His focus is mostly greatest hits albums of the 1980s. Mine is going to be more baby boom territory. I started to listen to music in 1965, and all these bands were on the AM radio. AM, do you know what that stands for? Impress your friends. Amplitude modulation. Okay, repeat after me. Amplitude modulation. FM is frequency modulation. See? So next time you're at dinner with your parents or your friends, Mom, I like to listen to amplitude modulation, please. They'll be very impressed. So anyway, back to the story. The story is, in 1967, my parents bought me a record player. And my first record I ever got was More of the Monkees. And I still have it. The second record was, I wanted to get all the records I used to hear the past 2 years, 66 and 65. So I said the best way to do that, instead of buying all the 45s, get to this compilation albums they used to call the best of or the greatest hits. One of my favorite bands were the Byrds. Not the British Birds, the American Byrds. B-Y-R-D-S, Byrds. And this was the second record I ever got. It's the Byrds. And I bought this at Save-On-'s drugstore in the summer of 67. And it's a really excellent album. So let me pose with it for a thumbnail. Okay. So the album starts off, Mr. Tambourine Man. That was their first breakthrough hit by some guy named Bob Dylan. I think I've heard of him. Feel a Whole Lot Better. That's a great song. And that was their first singer. Forgot his name. Well, anyway. Second is The Bells Have Ridden Me. I never heard this one. I think it's the album cut. Then Turn, 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 the Pete Seeger song. All I Really Want to Do, some guy named Bob Dylan. Another, I don't know who this Dylan guy is. The Chimes of Freedom by some guy named Bob Dylan. 8 Miles High. That was David Crosby and Roger McGuinn wrote that. Mr. Spaceman, now that was a cute song. Play it for your kids. If you have any real young kids, play that song. Fifth Dimension. Now that was a deep song about Transcendental Meditation. And I used to play that over and over again. Then there's So You Want to Be a Rock and Roll Star. That's a funny song, one of my favorites. And finally, My Back Pages, some guy named Bob Dylan. So that was the second album, okay? This is the third album I got. I really love this one. The Four Tops Greatest Hits. And they put their slogan back here, the sound of young America. They, for some reason, they didn't like to put the picture of the band for this. I don't know why. Maybe they thought they'd get more customers of the Caucasian variety. But they should have put their photo on here. But it has all their hits. Baby, I Need Your Lovin'. It's the same old song. Ask the Lonely. Standing in the Shadows of Love. Loving You Sweeter Ever. I never heard that one, but I did after I bought this album. Can't Help Myself. Parentheses, Sugar Pie Honey Bunch. Without Your Love. I'm not too familiar with that one. 7 Rooms of Glue. That's an excellent one. Something About You. You can hear the Funk Brothers getting funky. Bernadette. When I first heard Bernadette on the radio, I thought they were saying burn to death. But turned out to be I have a relative named Bernadette. Shake Me, Wake Me When It's Over. I played the hell out of this album. There's their famous label right there. Motown. So that was a greatest hits album. Good one too. And then we come to after I got my fourth album, I forgot the records. I don't remember which one is which. But I bought this one. Stones. You know, I had kidney stones. I went to the emergency room and they were playing Rolling Stone records. Said, you have stones. Well, anyway, this is an excellent album. It has a High Tide Green Grass, it's called. It has a booklet in the middle, which was unusual back then. And now you see the photography here? When I first saw this album, I thought it was taken in England somewhere. It was taken by the reservoir in Cold Canyon in the Hollywood Hills. Look at that. Cold Canyon. It's funny to us. I mean, the use. What's so funny about that? Well, you have to live in LA to know. It's like New Jersey. Then the best of the Animals. This is an excellent album because it has all their early hits. I think it ends about 1965. It has House of the Rising Sun, classic. I'm Crying. I Gotta Take a Boom Boom. Don't Let Me Be Misunderstood. Bring It On Home to Me. We got to get out of that place. Most of you know the story about how the Vietnam veterans loved this song because they used to play that in Vietnam, and they wanted to get out of this place. The Libertarian Anthem, It's My Life. Roberta, I'm Mad. I'm mad at you. I'm gonna send you back to Walker. I'm in Love Again. Great album. Like it's, I think it's mono. I used to put articles in type. I used to put articles in these albums, and this one is Dave Barry, 62 years old, keyboardist, died in 2003. Sad stuff. Now finally, the last one for today is the inventor of rock and roll, the architect, the whatever. Little Richard's greatest hits. And the album, they have some guy, they used to write articles back of the albums. This guy was Jim Witter, Dr. Soul, KGFJ, and he wrote a little thing about Little Richard. But it has all the great ones. Lucille, The Girl Can't Help It, Tutti Frutti, Send Me Some Lovin', Long Tall Sally, Get Down With It, which was covered by Slade in the 70s. Really, they do a good version of it. Fine, True Fine Mama, Jenny Jenny, Good Golly Miss Molly. I think the Creedence Clearwater covered that. Whole Lot of Shaking Going On. The Killer did that one. Any Way You Want Me, You Gotta Feel It. I wonder what that means. So, that's my album. The Greatest Hits. That's how I start my album collection. Because most of the records I got back then were just 45s I heard on AM radio stations. And when FM came around in '68, I stopped listening to AM. I went to FM. So, did I say, yeah. I will be making these videos occasionally. I won't be doing it on a weekly basis. Because I want it to be better than it usually is. And I'm not going to have that intro anymore, so you don't have to worry about it. So, take care. Get your shots. I'm talking about the shots for the COVID, not heroin. Okay? Bye.